everybody, Ali Akbarian, your resident road safety expert, back again for another Q&A, all the way from Mobility Engineering. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for sending in your questions. As I always say, with my trusty subscribe pillow, please hit the button that looks a bit like this down there. We'd love to have your support to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're over 300 now, which is really exciting. So keep hitting that button, keep supporting us, and we'll get a new pillow after that. So we'll get rid of that for now. Now, today's question is around modifying vehicles. It came in about one particular product, which is this product here, the Person Lifter, but it also opened up sort of a discussion and a question about general modifications. And so basically what the question was, does the modification to the vehicle require, does it need to be done by an authorized person or a qualified person? Typically speaking, the short answer to that is yes, it does. And I will give you multiple sort of layers and reasons behind that, basically to help clarify why that is. So first and foremost, in most states of Australia, if not all of them, but I know in New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, basically the majority of them that I know of, that we work with, in order for you to modify somebody's vehicle, or in order for you to work on somebody's vehicle, a mechanic or panel beater or any of that kind of stuff, you actually have to have a specific qualification that is related to that task. And on top of that, that qualification you need to be licensed. You submit that qualification to the government, and then the government gives you a license to then be able to do those modifications on other people's vehicles. So for example, in New South Wales, where we're from, there's the Motor Vehicle Repair Industry Association, which is now, I think, owned by Fair Trading or something like that. But basically, it's a government department that issues you as an individual with a license on modifying the vehicle. And in order for you to get that license, you need a qualification. So, and that doesn't matter what sort of modification it is, or work it is on a vehicle, mechanic work, basically any kind of modification or work where you're putting screwdrivers and doing work on someone else's car, you must be qualified and you must be suitably qualified for that. In addition to that, Mobility Engineering has a very stringent policy around who we sell our products to. So you won't be able to buy these products directly from us. We generally will sell them through a qualified authorized personnel. So not only will they have to be a qualified personnel or a person or an organization on top of that, they also need to be authorized by Mobility Engineering to be putting these products and dealing with them. We have stringent quality selection processes, but we also then have very stringent training and quality control processes for these installers out there. So yeah, that's why it's very, very even more restricted within this mobility industry. Just a little reason behind that is what you're doing when you're modifying the vehicle is you are, in this case, or even like in the seat behind here, for example, you've got this seat here, which is a whole sort of swivel seat system, and you've also got this thing. In both of these situations, what I've done is I have performed significant structural modifications to the vehicle in order for it to have this there. So then that also needs to be, so that is a pretty sensitive job that needs to be done by a suitably qualified person. And then on top of that, it needs to be further certified by an engineer or a compliance practitioner on the market, depending on the state that you're from. Now, normally speaking, these engineers, they will only work with products that have been installed professionally, or they will only work with particular companies. So, and this is just generally speaking about most of the situations. So in essence, all of these products must be installed by a qualified person. Depending on the state you are in, they must be licensed, and they must also be authorized by Mobility Engineering. And the last thing is they must then have a third-party verification, depending on your state again, with an engineer certificate or a compliance certificate, or even authority from the state authority, which some of them give individual authorities, modification authorities. So hopefully that answers that question. Thanks very much for tuning in. Keep those questions coming. We love them. Hit that subscribe button down there, and we'll see you next time.